Hello everyone and welcome to part 2 of the Mazda Rx7 build. So as you can see, she has a hatch on it now, so looking exciting, looking very good. This isn't the rear wing I'm going to run, this is the wing that came with the car. It's a Series 6 to 7 wing, I'm pretty sure. I think the 7's had the facelifted wing, but I'm going to run the Series 8 wing, which is the facelifted, sort of a taller stepped spoiler on it. So the back's sort of looking a bit more complete now, which is quite exciting. So this video I'm also going to show all the new parts I've got and try and muck around with the front a bit more. Got the other headlight cover, which sort of shows how far the front's shifted over a bit. So in the previous video I was showing the damage that was done. So it was this bit here that's folded up. So have a look at the other side. Straight as. So this side's been hit, but the rail itself doesn't look like it's kinked at all. Had a good look underneath and on the top. Up here it looks like it had a little bit of a nick. Seam seal is all broken just there. But I have a new radiator support on the way. So what I'm going to do is put it on a frame, or what we call a jig or a rack, straighten it all out. And once it's straightened all out, I'll stitch a brand new support on it. And hopefully that squares everything up. So it's actually not too bad. My 180SX was probably, if not worse. I had to use a porta power of that to get the radiator support straight. So this is actually not too bad at all. Lining up cars with pop-up headlights, some of you may know that it is not the greatest thing. It took me about 3 hours to fully line up my 180 front. So the hatch isn't actually bolted on, it's just sitting there. So the gaps might look a bit, there you go. So it looks a bit weird that everything's complete now, that's good. But yeah, so another good thing is I picked up a lot of things for it. I got the actual, this is actually the fuel tank from the car. I finally got around to pick it up. Came with all the straps. Came with the sender assembly and the pump. The fuel in it smells like it's probably 10 years old. It's disgusting. Stunk out my four-wheel drive on the way home. Got a center console for it. All these parts need restoration, which is fine by me. This is the rear seat, where the rear seats would go. This is like a storage bucket thing. You can see here I have rear seats, but on these cars, mine is a factory two-seater, and the ones that have seats have different sort of a molding that's welded onto the side of the strut tower, which holds the clips, which holds the rear seats on. So what I'm going to do is get rid of these seats and put it back to a two-seater. So it shouldn't be too hard. Still got to get the back section for it. Won't be too hard. It's got like these little storage bins. Just a lockable one. Over here we have the sort of pillar trims, I'd say, or I'll show you exactly which ones they are. Those trims there that go up to the headlining. So I've got those. They're both cracked. They both need proper restoration. So I'm going to give it a go. They are hard to find and they are pretty expensive. So anything that I can find and I can restore, if I can, then it'll be a win for me. Most of the clips are there actually, like they're quite intact, even though they are cracked. Crack there. So I think this one was the worst piece. I'll show you, there's a crack there. There's a crack at the bottom here. I think someone's actually tried to have a go at repairing it over there. But the tank's actually in really good condition. And everything's there, except for the cap. But yeah, so I think next what I'm going to do is try and muck around with that front latch assembly and try and get the front to square up a bit, but it's going to be a little bit hard with the headlight cover on, because when I close the bonnet it touches right on the side here. So what I'm going to try and do is actually unbolt the headlight and move it over as much as I can. I know that the front has to be pulled back out, but I want to try and square it up as best as I can with it being bent, just to sort of help us get an idea of how far over we have to pull it on the rack, etc. So yeah, we'll get into it. So I want to try and sit everything in the car all the plastics and that, just to sort of get an idea of what it'll look like. And also me being impatient. But once I get these seats out, there is a lot of wiring in here. Like I think I said in the first video, this is all the wiring for the rear tailgate and like light assembly and fuel pump and all that crap. So once the boot floor is welded back in and the tailgate panel or beaver panels all welded in, I can put all that loom and start running it all back in and clipping it all back together. So it'll free up all the space, and I can rip out all the carpet here and start cleaning it up. But not too bad in here. It's pretty complete besides little miscellaneous things. I still need to get the little trims that run just under the door, all the sill trims here, and they say Rx7 on them, so I think they're hard to find, but I haven't really looked into them yet. And that door card is pretty complete. I'm missing the ECU cover and the ECU itself. There is a lot of cobwebs in here. I think there is a lot of friends. That's my motivation on the dash just there. It's actually the first model of an FD I ever brought. It's a black Series 6, exactly like this. So pretty ironic. So yeah, now, a lot of people wonder why I do this out in the open when I have this garage in here. Well, the 180 sitting in there and the 32's in here, and I really can't be bothered pushing this around. So I actually built a lot of my cars out here. That's my VL, which I did most of the work just did here. I'll probably get a tent one day, but I love just building my cars just with everything I have, just to kind of show everyone that, you know, you can build a car anywhere. You don't need a factory with a hoist. You know, I've done every single thing on the ground, on my back. Put the gearbox in this thing, put the engine in this thing. You know, I've got an engine over there that I'm mucking around with to put in the 31. So I'm actually gonna do a video on every car I own, all 7 of them. So that's my 180SX, which I've had since I was 16. Bought that in 2012. My 32 that I built in the last year, took me about 10 months. That's my VL SL, that's gonna have a 355 stroker in it. My 31, which is a track/straight car. And that's my GU Patrol, which is my daily / off-road pig. And I got my beloved Hyundai around the corner. But this is the latest thing we're gonna have to focus on, I guess, because this is gonna be the most ambitious and expensive build to come, but also my favorite. So I hope everyone enjoys the content that comes out of this car just as much as I do, because it is pretty exciting for me. After this car, whenever that is, I do want to build a 3000 GT Mitsubishi. That's another one on the list. SW20 MR2, and eventually work my way up to a first gen NSX. So that'll be the goal. But for now, we're stuck with this black piece of shit, which I love more than anything. So let's get into this latch assembly. So I've done a little bit of work off camera, just with the front end. So you can see it's still off there. That's with the headlight adjusted fully to the right, so coming this way. So I've adjusted the guard as well. See the line's a bit stuffed. I think the bonnet has to come across, but like I said, lining up these things aren't easy, as well as the front being bent. That's the most complete it's ever looked. So we're getting somewhere. I'm still going to drill the holes out on this latch once I figure out how to get this cable out. And then hopefully I can latch the bonnet closed, but I might have to leave that headlight cover off because it is overlapping just here. So I'll film a bit more of that. we have a closing bonnet. So let's have a look at what it looks like. So now it's actually not raised up on this side, and the gap is actually quite perfect. Still a gap there in that headlight. I think that's from the support moving over, or shifting over. But actually, that guard is actually not sitting correct either. It's still loose. But we've got the front end latched in, which is surprising. So I'm pretty happy with that. Looks much better. Now I want to see if I can try and latch that bonnet. But look how close the bonnet comes to just that headlight carcass, let alone if it had the cover on it. There's a substantial gap there. But not too bad, I must say. Getting better. Starting to look a bit more complete now. So I've got this headlight completely unbolted, so it's sort of just sitting, it's nowhere near the bolt hole, so it's sort of just sitting there. So once we sort of work with that area, this is a good idea how the front will look like. The paint's actually still pretty good. Another thing I'd like to get, which are pretty expensive, is a front Rio or front crash bar. Pretty hard to find and they're pretty expensive. They come with the fog lights and everything attached. So I want to try and hunt one of those down, get a good idea how the Rio sits, and then put a front bar on it. A front bumper bar will sort of make it, you know, a bit better. But although, she's starting to look pretty good, not gonna lie. I like what I see. So I think the next major thing will be getting the boot floor in and welding that up. I sort of want to do that ASAP, then drop subframe, drop the front K-frame, start doing all the bushes, start restoring the frame, new arms, all that whatnot. There's a coilover in the rear right that's bent, so I want to muck around with that. But another thing I want to do now is actually just kind of sit some of these plastics in there and try and complete this interior up a bit. They'll all be coming back out again, but I sort of just want to sit in there and get a good idea of what it's going to look like. So we'll get cracking on that. Okay. First of all, we'll remove these so-called seats. Hope there's no critters. I've seen lots of critters, but I don't want any more. Now, these are the rear buckets that replace that rear seat assembly. Now this is where the battery was, which I guess would be tech screwed into this cupboard lid. So I want to take this off, and I want to take all this crappy material off that they've tried to rip. I don't know why they've done that. So I'll get all that removed, and we'll sit these in the car. There are many cobwebs. We need to be strong. I won't sit in there flush because all the wiring loom is sitting sitting under here. That's a good example of what it'll look like. Obviously when restored. I probably should have put the pillar trims in first, shouldn't I? Fuck the pillar trims, we'll sit the console in. Oh. So I'll turn the camera around so you can fucking see it. Get my ass out of the way. I don't know what this crap is. Now there is a little panel it's supposed to sit on, obviously, but this is the carcass of it. Sits something like that. That's it. Obviously when these are restored they look a lot better, but you can tell the interior is starting to come together, and obviously I haven't put those pillar trims up there. I've still got to get this back piece that goes across the back and the tailgate panel down there, but once I put those pillar trims there, it's going to look pretty complete. Next thing I'm going to get as well is a set of seats, and then the front will be pretty much there. It's already got the seat belts. I'm going to get this little thing here has been wrapped, so I don't know if it's been cut and wrapped, or I've never pulled it off and checked it, but I'm missing all the bezels and that for the dials for the climate control and all that, so hopefully I can find all that. Yeah. Okay guys, I think I'm going to end part 2 there. This is sort of just a, like I said at the start, showing all my parts I got for it, as well as mucking around at the front a bit. I'm going to do this series in really small increments of work, so it's going to be a very true build. I'm not going to smash it out in a week or two, but I hope everyone enjoys it just as much as I do. It is very fun to work on. I'm learning a lot as I go. Very similar to other cars I worked on, but obviously a little bit different. First rotary as well, so it should be interesting when we get all the engine and everything for it. But yeah, so hopefully see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.